Hello friends and welcome. This is Stormhaven Gaming, I'm John and this is Timberborn. Okay, we are on day 3, so we're starting up pretty much where we left off at the end of last episode. We are waiting for the water to fully return. This reservoir here is slowly filling. We do have one pump on down here, which I am going to leave because our water isn't great at the moment. Well, I mean, we have 12,000 in storage. But our storage is 15,000, so I want to top that up as much as possible before we turn that off. But obviously I do want this to fill up as well. Up here, again, we've taken quite a lot out of this reservoir during the last inclement weather. But it looks like that is beginning to fill. Yeah, we're not doing too bad. We've filled up more than half of what we took out anyway. So that's not too bad. I've let a little bit of water in here just to green this area, but I'll wait till this is a bit fuller before we release any more. This is beginning to fill down here, so I can turn on, I think I'll turn on one of these pumps, because I want to, again, give this a chance to fill up. Everything else is going okay. Our water feature up here is doing great. It looks amazing. I love it. I'm really pleased with how that's turned out. Over here, we've got our double pump system set up. It's probably going to be a little while before that gets any action. Okay, thank you, autosave. Very, very helpful of you. Because all of this needs to refill first. Yeah. This is beginning to fill. We're getting some water out of our new, larger reservoir down here. So this is starting to fill, but it's going to fill back this way, as well as trying to flow this way. Yeah. Yeah, we lost quite a lot of water that time. So we might not be able to get this pump system working before the next drought or bad tide. We'll have to see. We'll have to see how quickly this fills up. Obviously over here we've lost nearly a tile and a half of water out of here through evaporation. So it's not ideal. Hopefully we'll get more water coming through before the next drought and bad tide, but who knows. In terms of building work, there's really not much we're doing. Not much we need to do at this point. It's just a case of getting all of this filled and hopefully getting this filled as well. We've got this sluice in here that is closed currently. Yeah, that's fine. I've set the downstream depth on there. That's okay. We shouldn't obviously have any problems with contamination because no bad water should flow this way, in theory. All of this has dried up completely. Yeah. Yeah, we are suffering a little bit from that last... I think it was a bad tide we had last, wasn't it? So I think all I can really do is keep playing on. We'll wait until the next drought or bad tide and see what that's going to be like. It could be that we just don't have enough water coming into the map to green everything. That could be the issue we have. We'll see. We'll see. We'll let the waters return as quickly as possible, hopefully. And then we'll see where we are. I'll come back in a couple of days, probably before the next drought or bad tide hits. And we'll see what we're looking at that point. Okay, day 5 has arrived and it's brought with it a bad tide warning, which isn't ideal. We are nowhere near filling up our storage, basically. We've got no flow through here yet. Nothing through here yet. Yeah, this could be problematic. We shouldn't be too far off of getting some through here, but even so, that's not going to fill up all of this in 3 days. Yeah. Yeah, it could just be that we've reached the maximum amount of water that we can get going through this map. I mean, again, at least nothing's going to be flowing off the map. So we're not going to be losing any water through anything other than drinking and evaporation, but water is trying to flow through here, which means it's probably trying to flow through there as well. Or not far off, at least. How are we doing up here? Right, you are pretty full, so let's open those as well. Those are set down to 0.65. Going to put that at 7.5. So at least we'll get some water in here. That should then flow through and help fill up our other areas. Over here, yeah, nothing's flowing through yet. We are still maybe half a tile off of getting anything into this lake from this side. And obviously a long way off getting anything through here. Yeah, concerning. A little bit concerning. Hopefully it will be a short bad tide, but I'm not going to hold my breath for it. The last few inclement weather events have been pretty drastic. 26, 27, 28 days, that sort of thing. Which could be a problem for us. I mean, not in terms of food and water. We're absolutely fine for those. But in terms of actually greening this map, we could be in for a bit of trouble. Yeah. Alright. Oops. I will spin on until the start of the bad tide. We'll see what we're dealing with. And then, you know, maybe have to come up with some other ideas for getting this greened. There we go. 13 days. That shouldn't be too bad. We might be able to get away with that. Oh, we've got a couple of flooded buildings somewhere. Probably around here. Yeah. It's fine. The water's stopped flowing now. It should be alright. Did you just... I'm assuming that bot just broke down. That's fine. Okay, so we managed to fill up these reservoirs down here, and I did manage to turn on our water pumps. I've got this set of sluices open for the moment, and we'll continue pumping until we've drained enough out of here that the pumps become useless, and we'll see how much of this we can actually at least get a little bit of water in. Over here, this didn't overflow, so we got no water down this corner of the map here at all. Yeah, I don't know what we're going to do down here, because we are relying entirely on the water source up here. Although 13 days shouldn't lose too much water through evaporation, we might be able to refill that. You need to close. There we go. Don't know. We'll have to see. We might get lucky. It is down to luck, really. I mean, it's not. It's down to the amount that evaporates, but let's call it luck. So yeah, we didn't fill this section here. Certainly didn't fill this section here. I mean, we didn't get any water leaking into this lake down here at all. Yeah. Alright, 13 days. We can do this. It looks like everything's changed over fine. We're not going to get any contamination anywhere by the looks of it. No, I think we're alright. This reservoir barely filled. I mean, it just got across these floodgates up here. If I zoom in a bit. There we are. It barely got across that level. So, yeah, not great. Certainly not ideal. Certainly not what we want. But everything is full. I will remember to turn our water dump on there to keep our mangroves sorted. But we'll see. We'll just have to see. Yeah, there's not much I can really do apart from play on through the bad tide. And we'll see how we do. Alright then. Day 12, so 9 days left of the bad tide. We've had about 4 days then. We've just about reached the end of the water that we can reasonably pump from this sort of reservoir here. But we have got a reasonable amount of water in this section here. We have managed to get rid of that last bit of unfertilized land now that we're up on this level here. So that's good. I've kept these closed because we don't want any of that water to come out of here just yet. I haven't opened this side here either. Yeah, I think we are pretty much at the point where we can at least turn off 2 of these. And leave it for the one set of pumps to work on. We're still losing water rapidly out of this lake here. Because it didn't fill during the wet season at all. Yeah. It's not ideal, I'll say that. But with only sort of 9 days left of the bad tide, we might be all right. We might be able to maintain enough water in those lakes that they'll fill next time, assuming that the next drought or bad tide isn't terrible. But we'll have to see. Everything's going okay. Our well-being is still hovering around 73, so that's good. Everything else is just... I'm literally just playing on. I'm not doing anything. I'm not building anything. I'm just watching it run out of water slowly. So, yeah, we're doing all right. I think our biggest problem at the moment is all of the water dumps that we've got for our water features. It's not ideal. So I wonder if there's literally anything we could do to help that. I mean, I could join these 2 up and put a sluice in there to keep that filled, and then we could, in theory, turn that water dump off there. Although this is already dropping the level quite a lot again. Alright, so we're going to turn that fluid dump on for the moment. We've got 14,000 water in storage, so we're not losing too much. There we go. So yeah, 14,365 water in storage. And 57 in our various pumps. So yeah, we're not doing too bad, but getting this a little bit fuller would be nice. How are we doing on the other one? We'll zoom over. Yeah, it's dropped a little bit. But we've already got 2 water pumps. I mean, this one appears to be doing absolutely nothing. Presumably because the water pump is keeping things filled. So I'm going to pause that one. And I'm going to turn this one on and see if that helps. Who knows? Yeah. Yeah, that last bad tide or drought, whatever it was, really messed us up a bit. So, yeah, you've run out of water now, haven't you? So we might as well turn you off. Save some of the ridiculous amounts of power that we are producing. Yeah, alright. I'll continue spinning on. All of this is going to evaporate, I suspect, over the next sort of 8.5 days, or a lot of it will. But at least there will be some left in it, hopefully. So it won't take as long to fill up next time. Hopefully. We'll see. Okay, there we go. The bad tide is over. Obviously, we did okay. Plenty of food, plenty of water, blah, blah, blah. So, the water should now start returning everywhere. Over here, we've maintained a little bit of water over here. A little bit up here. We still have enough in here to fill this section. Although we have lost about a tile's worth in, what, a week? Just over a week? So, yeah, evaporation is pretty brutal. Over in this lake, yeah, again, we've lost quite a lot of water just through evaporation. I didn't turn the pump on, so that's pure evaporation has taken that. Not ideal. I think evaporation might need to be looked at in the next update, because that's, yeah, excessive, I think, is probably the word I would use. Still, never mind. The water has started to return here, which is great. This has only just dried up, this section here. Yeah, we're doing all right. We're doing all right. This... Oops. Come on, John. Get to grips with the camera. There we go. This hasn't filled at all. So with... with ostensibly 2 water pumps going, although generally there's only one going because the other bot is being charged. That seems to happen constantly. And they spend so long getting charged, it's basically not worth using bots. They seem to spend about as much time in the charger as normal bots spend in bed. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Getting a little frustrated with it again because there's a lot of performance issues now. I know my machine is a little bit older, but it's getting very clunky. This save is getting very, very clunky. So we are going to call this the last episode. So I'm going to do my best to get these filled and operating before the end of the episode. But if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. It may have been a little too extravagant a plan for the amount of water that is on this map. Because we do only have, what? 1, 2, 3, 4 water sources. This one is tiny. Yeah. This one is slow. Very slow. It doesn't kick out a lot of water at all. Yeah, I think for the size of the map, I don't think there's enough water being kicked out, honestly. And it's only, you know, at this stage of the game when we're trying to green the whole map that it becomes apparent. But anyway, I've set up some explosives down here so that we can sort of level this section off, and hopefully when the water rises this will be greened a little bit. It's just this little rise here. So let's... Oh, we can take out these first of all, can't we? There we go. And now we can start taking out the rest as well. There we go. So hopefully that will help a little bit. I mean, theoretically, I could come across and do the same over here, but I don't know if that's going to be worth it, honestly. But we'll see. I'll spin on for a couple of days then. We'll let some of the water return. And hopefully it will. Looks like it's already starting to return just through here, so that's good. That should start filling. This has already started to return. Also good. This is filling. That's returning there. That's great. Alright, yeah. I'll spin on then. It'll only be for a couple of days. And we'll see how we do. Okay, start of day 4. We've already had the drought warning, which isn't ideal. We're not going to have a lot of time to fill up all of our various lakes. Typical. Absolutely typical. Oh well. We'll do what we can, obviously, but yeah, with such a short period between the two bits of inclement weather, I think we're probably going to have to accept that we're not going to get this done. These lakes aren't going to fill, but we'll see what we can do. We'll do our best, but yeah, it's not great. Over here with this section brought down, that is greened. So the hydration mostly greened. We do have this little strip here that isn't quite getting enough hydration, but that's fine. That's just a tiny little strip there. I suppose I could take down this edge a little bit more, but yeah, it's not really worth it at this point. Everything else is going okay though. This lake is beginning to fill. I am going to turn this water pump off to give it a bit more of a chance. Yeah, I don't know. With such a short period between the two droughts, we're not going to get everything even remotely filled, I don't think. 2.5 days left, and this hasn't started overflowing yet. So we're not going to get enough water in here to be able to pump up into here. I don't think. I might be wrong. But I'm not going to pin any hopes on it. So I'll come back at the start of the drought and we'll see how long it's going to be and whether or not it's worth trying to continue. Okay, end of the day on day 6. So the drought is arriving in the morning. We have managed to fill these reservoirs. So I've turned our water pumps on and they are attempting to fill this area again. But yeah, it's going to take a while. Over here, the water still hasn't fed through from this lake. I don't think we're going to be able to get these lakes on top of that section here working properly. I don't think we're getting enough water through the map, basically. But again, nothing is escaping the map. It's all currently flowing back into this section here and attempting to fill this. These dams over here are occasionally working. Yeah, it's slow, and I think we may have exceeded our potential somewhat. I don't think we're going to get this working, but as I say, we will do our best. I'm trying not to be negative. I'm just trying to be realistic. Yeah, I mean, certainly with such a short period between the two inclement weather periods, then yeah, there's no way we can get all this filled. But we'll spin on till the morning. We'll see how bad the drought is going to be. I mean, if it's going to be any more than sort of 15 days, then I don't know if it's going to be worth carrying on, honestly. But we'll see. I mean, we'll do our best. 11 days. All right, that's not bad. We'll cope with that, and hopefully we won't lose too much of this water. Fingers crossed, but yeah, we might be all right with that. We'll see. I mean, we'll probably lose at least a tile's worth of water through here, but yeah, we should be all right. All right, I will spin on through the drought then. Again, I'll keep these on until we're out of water to drain. I mean, in theory, it should also drain back out of here if we're lucky. Although it might have already reached the level where it won't drain any further. But we'll see what we can do. All right, I will play on. Day 12 of the cycle. We've got 6 days left of the drought. This has largely filled. We are out of, if we zoom in here, we're out of the water with the pumps here, so we're not pumping any more. But this is pretty much filled to where it needs to be. We're really not far from the limit. That blue line there is the limit of what it will fill. So that's not too bad, is it? 4.45 out of 4.5. So yeah, 0.05 away from being absolutely the top level that will fill. So I've opened up this section here. So what are you doing? You are actually open at the moment. You shouldn't be. No, you're closed. All right, that's cool. Kind of looks like you're open. Oh, there we go. Yeah, so that's filled this up, but it's not greening the whole thing. So I've set in some explosives to expand this little lake here. So let's get these set off. There we go. So that's obviously going to open that and drain the last little bit of that level, the top level of water there out into this section. But that has greened that whole bit there. We've got a little bit of brown around the edge, but I'm okay with that. I mean, we could, if we wanted, come out and expand this a little bit as well, I guess. Yeah, all right, let's do that. Well, no, that's the wrong one. We want that one. There we go. We'll put a platform in there and we'll bring a path up this way. We probably don't need that bit. I will... No, actually, we'll clear these dead trees out. There we go. I don't know if we'll be able to reach all of them. No, we'll need to extend the path once this... probably just this first tree is done. And then we'll put in a little bit of explosives just around here. Like so. That, in theory, should be enough to spread it all the way to the end there. In theory. We'll see. Okay, there we go. Cycle 75 has started. The drought is over, thanks to the performance issues. I didn't manage to record the actual end of the drought, but that's fine. I apologise for that, but, you know, it is what it is. So the water has returned. We've managed to keep a fair amount of water in our various lakes and reservoirs. Even this one, we haven't taken any out of this over the drought. Our water storage has dropped to about 13,000, but, I mean, that's more than enough, isn't it? Over here, we've actually managed to keep some water in some of these sections as well. We've spread the hydration almost to the edge of this. That might improve as this water level increases again. But it's going to be a few days before the water returns enough to start pumping. Yeah. All right. I'm going to play on one more time. I'm going to play on probably until the end of this wet cycle, so we can see how much water we can actually get flowing through here. Hopefully we'll be able to actually get some flowing through. Otherwise, I'm just going to drop this floodgate completely and let it flow through. And not worry about actually storing water in this lake, because what's the point? Yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll play on until we can... let's drop that down as well. Play on until we can actually get some water flowing. Hopefully this will be a longer period between droughts, but again, I'm not going to count on it. Okay, start of day 6 of this cycle then. It looks like we don't have a drought warning yet, which is nice. Makes a change. The water has actually managed to return through this section, so we've managed to fill this up enough that it's flowing through here. Not quickly, and it's unlikely to fill this section, but some water is coming into this section here. If we zoom across here, we are pumping water through our pumps into this reservoir on top. These are flowing. This one is flowing. So it looks like we're filling both sides. So it's obviously going to take a little while to do that. But it is working, and we have mostly greened this section. not so much down here. And over here it is very slowly filling up, as you can see. It's got these two lake sections to fill up. It looks like this one is just about filled. Yeah, and slowly starting to filter through. Yeah, all right. So that's working for a given value of working. The water's returned here, so it's flowing back into this large lake here. Obviously being prevented from escaping the map by our levee walls over here. And I think I'm going to call that a success. I'm going to call this the end of the series. We've managed to green a good proportion of the map. This bit down here is not going to fill, so yeah, I don't think it's worth trying to get this filled unless we drop that down a bit more and get some more water flowing through here. That's probably the only way that's going to work. And even then, it's probably not going to work quickly. So I'll spin on for another day or two to see if we can get some water in this section and just green up this end of it. But if not, well, I'll come back at the start of the drought or the drought or bad tide, whatever happens next. Right, there we go. The drought has started. It'll be 20 days, but that doesn't really matter to us because we are ending the series there. I'm calling it a success. It's not 100% success, but I think it's about as good as we're going to manage. So we did manage to mostly fill this section here. So all of this is greened through here. I've opened this section enough to fill this a little bit. Not enough for it to overflow these dams, if I zoom in a little bit. And we've got a little bit of green around here. These sections here are fully greened. Mostly fully greened. These lakes are so full they are now overflowing. For the first time, we are getting a little bit of overflow of our levee wall at the back there. So yeah, I am calling that a success. I mean, let me know your thoughts in the comments. You may disagree, but we will end the series there. I think we've done all right on this map, actually. I thought it was going to be a lot more difficult than it turned out to be. We had a lot of problems initially, and we've had a lot of problems with performance as the colony has grown. But I think we've done all right. I'm quite pleased with our progress. But as I say, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Please do give us a like and a subscribe. We will set off our Earth repopulator here. There we go. As I say, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Please do give us a like and a subscribe. Please be aware that there are memberships available on the channel. It would really help me out personally. A little bit more revenue coming in from these videos. Share them if you think there's anybody out there that you know would like them. And please join us next time. There will be another series coming soon. I'm going to have a little bit of a break from Timberborn, maybe a week or two. Not a huge break. I like the game too much to ignore it. I think we'll try a smaller map again next time. Not like the diorama map, but a smaller map than this one. We'll have to have a look. Give me some suggestions in the comments for maps to try. But as I say, please join us next time. Until then, I've been John. This has been Timberborn. Please do take care of yourselves. Stay safe. And bye-bye.